You know, I studied the history of visual arts, of painting mostly. I was a big fan of iconoclasm, and I never thought that I would become an iconoclast. I mean, they called Frank Zappa, I don't know, an iconoclast of like pop culture or whatever, but that was never my sort of thing. I mean, I find that cultural icons, popular icons of pop culture sort of tend to assassinate themselves, burn themselves out. Sometimes I think, thank goodness I'm not popular, because I don't think I'd like to have even less of a private life than I do now, in hiding where I am in currently undisclosed location. Because I couldn't cut it on the South Shore, where I was born. I escaped to Montreal, couldn't cut it in Montreal. I tried to go back to the South Shore, was expelled violently. Such is the condition of the artist in the province of Quebec. Probably all over the world, because what I noticed that I have this skill, if you will, quality, the kind of work I do, where I turn valueless things into things of value. I think an artist does that as a creator of cultural values, of new values. Because what is an economy, we'll say, that works on money and exchange and all that trade? Even like a bill is backed by a sort of currency, has to have a base. I'm not an expert in economics, but I just know that it's a promissory note of backed by, like, we'll say, gold or some sort of valuable thing. Or because anything, a cigarette, as I'm smoking, has a value. It can have a subjective values. If I really want one, I'll find one. It has a value to me because it satisfies a need. And so I think in a capitalistic society, which we don't yet have, which we might someday have, a real Smithian, laissez-faire, non-interventionist capitalist economy, where I think artists would thrive, because I create value. I can take garbage and recycling materials and create objects of value, and then that helps the subjective viewer, the spectator, seeing this manipulation. It's artifice. It's complete artifice. It's almost like the work of a magician. I work with illusions, optical illusions, visual perception illusions, and all that, where I create. And I think the experience of seeing great art is the experience of seeing a sort of illusion of greatness of a valuable object, which is nothing but primary materials, materia prima, which would be what the alchemists would try and do, create gold out of lead or whatever. Whoops, there's a bug there. What kind of bug is it? Anyway, see, that caught my attention for different reasons than art would. It was a disgusting critter, creepy crawler. And there he's hiding there. Oh, he wants to crawl into my pants, but see, I don't know. I don't think I can be an artist anymore. I think that once the people I was living with, which were so-called humanitarians, decided to see that I was valuable objects, like, wow, we didn't know you had such nice clothes. Oh, we didn't know you had such nice this, nice that, like that. You thought I was just a poor guy, dressed in bum's clothes, and I didn't do anything in life, and I was lazy and all that. And then all of a sudden, you're interested. That's what I thought about. I think about Immanuel Kant. The disinterestedness. I have a lot of intellectual friends, and I have trouble convincing them that the best way to look at art is with a disinterested sort of attitude, a stance, just aesthetic appreciation, not of appreciating and visualizing and seeing that value betwixt you, the spectator, the artist, and a sort of artifice, not sort of like a complete artifice, but there's a cultural value to that. Cultures have always had that. As an iconoclast now that I am, I'm destroying my own works of art. I'm trying to expunge the sort of artifice out of myself, try to be really authentic and true to myself, and that's not as soon as I interact with others, I mean, the artifice, the mischief slips out. Just like that little critter right there, you know? I could just step on him and kill him, you know? And I'm not doing it because of some Buddhist or karma. I don't believe in karma, reincarnation, transmigration of souls. I don't believe in the soul, but I do believe in the cultural transmigration of symbols, you know? From like a swastika to like a cancer, a fight for AIDS, like stripe or something. You see that sort of thing going on in history. When you look all the way back to like the Middle Ages, the Renaissance and all that, and you see that while there was this economic, like political, religious kind of, all these wars and all this really heavy stuff, you know, there's something underlying all of those which is kind of very banal. Oops, I think the bug went up my... Okay. Something really banal, which has to do with objects of cultural value, you know. It could be as simple as you know, Napoleon's last cigar, you know, that he smoked, and that's hidden somewhere in a palace somewhere, the reign of terror, and like only a few people know its location, like, and that's a valuable object, which backs up like a whole republic or something, or a whole nation, you know. It could be a very simple thing, a patch, a medal of honor or something. It could be that strand of hair of some great Stalinist kind of king, you know, or a New World emperor. And that's all complete artifice. There actually isn't anything that's intrinsically valuable. It's all materiality, physical material, and subatomic particles. So value is a creation of the mind, you know, and it's not really, doesn't really exist. Things in the mind don't really exist, you know. I studied phenomenology for a long time. I still can't agree with transcendental ego or like reductionism or any sort. I mean, yeah, things exist. That exists, you know, even though it's like, it looks like a big block of cement, but really the cement's only a millimeter thick, or else it wouldn't make that sound. That's more like cement. Anyways, that's what I think about art. I think it's complete crap. And I'm ashamed that I thought myself an artist for so long. Really, I'm just a citizen of the world, you know, stateless, and trying to hold on to the few rights I have left. The few, I mean, I'm sitting amongst the insects, you know, in an undisclosed location in a sort of tomb-like existence in the walker of the catacombs, you know. And it's not mystical, like I say. It ain't mystical. It's just I feel comfortable amongst spiders and creepy crawlies, and you know, I don't want that little bug to crawl up my pants, because that'll tickle in a funny way, you know. I want to get that intimate to the insect, but I am as much an insect as he is, and you know, it's not even now that Kafkaesque. It's more like Aristophanes, you know, the flies. The man, the bearded man, the shit stuck to his whiskers, you know, he's spitting out, where a cynic, his lives lives the life worse than the dog's life, you know. Those doggone years. God damn.